Hi everyone. Um, so I had somebody ask me the other day to do a video on bird harnesses, and I just finished the first one, just about harnesses in general. But I'm going to go in depth about this particular one. This is called the Aviator Flight Harness, and it is actually designed to allow your bird to fly while it's wearing this harness. Now there are no other harnesses that will allow your bird to do this. So if you're looking to fly your birds outside, or if perhaps you have a bird um, that doesn't have its flight feathers clipped, this is definitely the better option. A few things about it. It has a bungee cord leash. This leash will actually double in length. And what that does is it prevents your bird from getting to the end of the leash and stopping dead. Um, so your bird can actually control itself and turn or fly back or land safely without, getting to the end and just stopping dead. So I'm going to do just a short introduction kind of thing. Well, I've kind of already started. And then I'll actually put it on a bird so you see exactly what I'm talking about. Now, when you buy an aviator flight harness, they'll actually show you in a DVD how to do all the training and the mechanics and blah, blah, blah. So I'm just going to summarize. So the first thing you're going to want to do is teach your bird the behaviors that it's going to have to learn to actually have the harness put on. One of these things is touching its face in this direction. So maybe pet your bird over its eyes and down its head so that it gets used to touching in that direction and lifting up its wings, because you are going to have to thread the bird's wings through the harness, not like a needle and thread tiny space, but you're going to have to be able to pick up the bird's wings. So when you put it on, what you're going to want to do is I'm not sure if you can see because it's pretty close together, but the there are two different lengths on this belt. You can see that this side is taller than this side. You want to make sure that the taller piece is at the back. So if your bird is facing you, you're going to want to put this on its back, the taller piece. So you slide this over their head, and then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pull all the material to one side, making sure that you have the most that you can get out of it, and pull the bird's wing through this way, pull all the material back to the other side, pull the wing through on the other side, and then tighten the belt. Now what I've done with Chippy, my cockatiel, is I used a black permanent marker, and I put a mark where it is the most appropriate. See? Essentially what you want to do is you want to make sure that it's tight enough that the belt will still move, and I'll get to why that is in a second. Um, but you want to make sure that it's not too loose so that your bird can get out of it. So you should be able to move it around. It should be not super, super tight, like it should be making its feathers bend, but tight enough that it can't possibly slide out. Once it's on properly, your bird's not going to be able to get out of this. It would have to be able to get this over its wings. So you should be able to gauge where it will be tight enough. But for simplicity's sake, I would put a little notch with a permanent marker just so that there's no guessing the second time. So the way that this works is that once it's on your bird, this internal part here, the part that goes over your bird's head, it'll actually move through the harness. And what that does is if it's on your bird and your bird takes off and it's like, say it's sitting on your hand, this will slide to the front, this belt. If it takes off, this belt piece, where it's attached, will go to the side underneath its wing. There's actually a video on YouTube that the Parrot University points out exactly what they mean, where you can see the harness move from the front of the body over to the side, and the bird has enough momentum to land. So you can't hurt your, and one of the concerns in the request for this video was that the person was scared that he'd be able to damage the bird. Actually, it's very hard to choke a bird. You can't choke them by restraining their necks like you can a person. Um, so unless you put this belt on really, 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 really tight, chances are you're not going to hurt them. I would just suggest that if you have a hand-fed baby, or if you're an experienced breeder or anything of that sort, just make sure you don't put these on just after they've eaten, because there's a chance that you could get interference with the crop being so full. So, just keep that in mind, that birds don't have stomachs. So you don't want, if you see any bulgingness in this general area, you don't want to interfere with that. It could make your bird sick. That's not cool. But aside from that, you really can't hurt your bird with this. which is really nice. You can't really mess this up. So just make sure that the smaller pieces in the back, or the smaller pieces in the front rather, the larger pieces in the back. The way that I remember is if your bird is looking at you, so it'd be facing the same way I am, make sure that this clip is on the right hand or the left hand side. Think of it if your bird's sitting on your hand. I usually put my birds on my left hand, and I link the harness around my fingers. This should be in the front, not in the back. So that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna go grab Chip, and hopefully we can get this done. I might have to grab Goonie just because he's a little bit more practiced. But it's essentially the same thing for every bird. Every aviator harness is built the same. It's just a size difference. And they'll tell you on the website what size you need for your bird. So yeah, once you get your bird trained to put it on, it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Just make sure that if you are flying your bird outside, to put maybe a cat harness or a leash, cat leash around your wrist, and put this through the leash when you clip it on, because this, as you can see, it's stretchy and it's going to stay on your wrist. But the last thing you would want is for something to hook it and pull it off, and then there flies your bird. So maybe a small dog collar or a cat collar, just stick it through there, clip it on your wrist, and it's just a little extra protection. But aside from that, your bird can't escape from this, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going to go grab Chip, and we'll try this out.